I can't get up there.
So I've had 2 heart transplants and a kidney transplant.
Hey, Shirley.
Hi, I'm Grace and I am from Victoria. I had a heart transplant when I was 6 years old.
G'day, I'm Jess. I'm here at the Australian Transplant Games. Yeah, I received a kidney transplant about 6 years ago.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, g'day!
How are you?
Hi guys, I'm Amy. I'm here at the Transplant Games. This is my very first Transplant Games. I received a liver transplant less than 12 months ago in October at the end of last year, and I am a different person. I was pretty crook this time last year waiting for my call, but here I am about to participate in badminton today and a few other sports during the week, and feeling a lot better. So donation has saved my life, changed my life. I chose to participate in the games to remind myself to be active and to give myself a bit of a goal to work towards. And even though I'm not the greatest or the fastest, I'm here, and it's not about being the best, it's just about meeting new people and making the most of the life that we've been given and the time that we've been gifted by our amazing superheroes that we will never know. I was diagnosed with a liver disease called primary sclerosing cholangitis in 2018 after a bit of umming and ahhing by doctors. I was okay for probably 2 or 3 years, just management sort of thing. And then 2021, I sort of started to get a bit crooker. I was itchy, very itchy with liver disease. 2022, I sort of went downhill with nausea and fatigue. By the start of last year, I was really fatigued, nauseous, I was jaundiced, I couldn't eat more than a meal a day, and my internals were not great, you know, vitamin deficiencies and everything. And they listed me in August, and I was on the wait list for 3 months, and then I got my transplant October. So it took a while after transplant just to adjust, but I remember Mum waking me up in ICU and already my eyes were starting to be whiter. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, I hadn't seen my skin white for some time. So it was pretty amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, how you going? My name's Adam Gary from the Sunshine Coast. I'm here in Canberra to represent Queensland in the swimming, doing the freestyle swimming on Friday. So yeah, we're at the opening ceremony this morning. Going to meet a few of the competitors and see how we go. Yeah, I received a kidney transplant back in 2019, February 2019. My father donated to me. So I got sick quite rapidly and went straight on dialysis, and then my father did his workups and became eligible, and yeah, received my kidney transplant. So it's just gone 5 years this year. So yeah, fighting fit and healthy.
Hi, yeah, my name's Heather. I'm from the Sunshine Coast, Queensland. I'm representing Queensland in the cycling events. And I'm doing the leg of the triathlon today, and the time trial on Friday, and the road race on Saturday. And I've also been given the honour of being Queensland flag bearer, which I'm super excited about, and was so shocked to receive such an honour. And we're having a fantastic time here at the Games. Yeah, so I'm just coming up to 4 years.
I know, that's right. I look up to these guys. That'll be me one day.
That will be. Yes.
Yeah.
My name's Casey Herman Place. I'm from Adelaide, South Australia. I'm 17 and I had a heart transplant.
So what happened, mate? What led up to that?
So I was sporty my whole life. Like every day I was out playing sports, and then when I was 11 I was playing basketball and I had a cardiac arrest, and luckily I was able to walk and talk again, which was a miracle in itself, and waited for a heart for 2 years. I couldn't go to school anymore. I was basically in a wheelchair, like could walk 10 metres and I'd get super puffed out. On the waiting list for about 2 years, and got called up for a heart, and that was the best day ever, and got a heart transplant in, flew to Melbourne next day, and been good since, like, yeah.
Never looked back?
Never looked back. I've been playing sport every day since, pretty much. Yeah.
So with a heart transplant, is there medications that you're going to take?
Yeah.
What's the go, is it?
So straight after the transplant, I woke up and they handed me about 50 tablets, and I'm like, oh my God, I was used to like maybe 10 tablets, but So I took them all and slowly started cutting down. So now I'm on tacrolimus, mycophenolate, and cholesterol tablet. So not many now, and yeah.
And you just go too hard, or you just got to...
Just pretty much the same as everyone else. Just got to make sure I warm up and cool down when exercising, put a bit less stress on the heart. And other than that, pretty much good as new. Yeah. I was stuck at home. Like, I didn't go to school. I was in year 6, 7, and it sucked because I was so sporty, and they told me I could never play sport again. And so I just stayed at home, played a lot of PlayStation. Very bad time of my life. I was very depressed for a bit there, and I would just lay in bed for like 2 years straight, basically. Exactly.
How good's that?
And yeah, I've been amazing ever since, and I've loved life. It's really put into perspective on how much life really means.
So good. And so what events are you going to be in, or have you been in?
So today did the 100, 200, got gold in both. Did the ball throw, got gold. High jump, got gold. And then did the 800 metres and got gold as well.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
What else you
Got volleyball tonight, so I'm going to be pretty tired. And then the basketball on Saturday.
Hi, I'm Grace and I am from Victoria. I had a heart transplant when I was 6 years old. It's been 14 years and I'm going strong and just really into sport and having lots of fun and yeah, just enjoying life.
So Grace, how old were you when things kind of started to go a bit haywire?
Oh, I was fairly young. I was like, I think I was 4 years old when my parents started to know what was that something was really wrong with me. You know, I couldn't walk a lot of the time. I had to be in the pram, and I have 2 younger siblings, so yeah, it would look really bad. This older kid hogging the pram while the little ones are walking beside it. So that was really hard for my family. And yes, I was 6 years old when I had the transplant.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And how old are you now?
I am 20, turning 21 this
Wow.
year.
So you said 14 years you've had
Yeah.
the brand new heart?
Yeah.
Wow. And what's the teenage life been like for you with the new heart?
It's been good. At the moment with my heart, it's just the transition between the hospitals and gaining that responsibility and, you know, keeping track of your medication and stuff like that. But yeah.
So are you on a lot of medication now after?
Yeah, I'm on a fair amount of medication, but you know, I think it's not a too bad amount. I used to have it 4 times a day, medication 4 times a day, which got pretty confusing and hard to keep track of. Now I only have to do it twice, so I'm pretty happy about that.
And if you can explain to the folks, what's the medication for? I mean, what's it trying to prevent?
It's anti-rejection meds, so my heart doesn't, so my body doesn't reject my heart, and yeah, so I can live. Yeah, so nothing goes wrong there.
Now you're at the transplant games?
Yes.
What have you been doing here?
I have been participating in as much as I can. I've put my name down for tennis, haven't got to that yet. Doing bowling right now. Done some athletics, hurt my feet during the running. And I did some badminton before, so yeah.
We're seeing you at badminton. You're versing Shelley there at badminton. So
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. And you know, it's so good to see people like you on this side of the fence, just absolutely living life. It's amazing what you guys can do, are doing. Much better than for old people like me that that aren't doing all the sports stuff and probably relatively healthy, I suppose.
No, it's pretty good. It's nice to know that I can still do the things I love. I play tennis and I play cricket competitively, so it's great to know that I can do that. And
what's for the future? You got anything on your bucket list that you want to achieve now with the new heart?
I want to do some travelling. And I just want to see where I can go. Just make the most of my life, and
awesome.
My name's Nigel Goldsworthy, and I live in Rye in Melbourne. And with my transplant, the reason I needed a transplant was from birth my kidneys didn't grow. So, from about 13, they just couldn't handle the amount of fluid going through my body. I went on dialysis. I was only on dialysis for 6 months, which made it very lucky. Then in '74, just before my transplant, I was 37 kilos and the doctors said he won't survive a transplant. 4 days later, I was in having the transplant. That was in November '74.
Wow.
Yeah. First 2 years were a lot of up and down, rejections and things like normal people, and that. But since then, it's been reasonably smooth sailing. During COVID, I had a few rejections, minor ones, but they were enough to put you off and things like that. And but overall, I keep reasonably fit. 50 years.
Wow, and that's on that one kidney?
That's on the one kidney, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So how did things go? You said there was a few little challenges with rejection along the way?
Yeah, mainly the creatinine went up and down and things like that, and during COVID it went sky high for a while, and so I was having blood tests regularly, but it's all come back to normal now, so we're all good. Because they've been doing transplants since the early '60s.
Wow, yeah.
But they were sort of still doing some experimentals with new drugs and things like that. So they asked you if you wouldn't mind trying it. And they tried you out, they kept an eye on you.
And you did that? Yeah.
I did talk for 2, and none of them worked for me, but they as soon as things were started going haywire, they dropped you from it.
How would you describe?
Well, compared from when I had the transplant, it's like chalk and cheese. Back then, no energy to do much, very tired all the time, couldn't concentrate or anything like that.
And you can remember all that back then?
Oh, not all of it, but there's snippets of it you remember, like school homework. I couldn't do school homework, always in trouble because I hadn't done my homework and things like that, but that was all because of the kidney starting to react and things like that. I am 67.
Wow.
I had my transplant 3 days after my 18th.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah.
You never look back. So what have you done? Like in your life, what have you done?
I worked 33 years with Australia Post.
Wow. Fair enough. And here you are at the transplant games.
Yep.
What have you been doing? What participating in?
I played. I did the 5K walk on Thursday.
Yep.
Got silver for that.
Wow.
And yesterday I played golf. Got a bronze medal in that. Yeah. And I'm now doing petanque.
Okay. Wow. And anything coming up? You got?
I might be playing darts tonight.
Yeah. Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Look, appreciate your time. Thank you very much. And,
no problem.
What have you got to say? I mean, when I look at you, I just go, wow, that's just absolutely amazing.
Well,
you've definitely been living, life to the full. You've given it.
Look, one of the reasons I come here is for the people, and they see me, and a lot of them say they get inspiration from me. So that's the main reason.
Yeah. No, that's amazing.
Like I say to them, I've made it. You can do it too.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
All right, well, mate, I really appreciate your time. Thanks for that.
No worries.
All right.
Okay, so my name's Laurie. I was born with a hereditary disease, polycystic kidney disease, and it's a slow, insidious process where your kidneys just fail over time. 3 years ago. I had a transplant. The person standing next to me gave me one of her kidneys. I'm forever grateful.
And I'm Linda, I'm his wife. So yeah, it's been a very long journey, but we're here today to celebrate.
Yeah, it's
our life that Laurie has now got back. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, that's right. So
yeah, it's 3 years and 10 days since my transplant, and thanks to my wife, got me off the couch, and we've been to a World Games, and this is our first national games, and
which is an amazing community here.
So just quickly, how did the process go? The logistics of that happening?
Okay, so we always knew that Laurie would need, the treatment options are dialysis or transplant, so we always knew he would need that. But we thought we would try with a preemptive transplant to start with to save Laurie having dialysis, and for some amazing miracle that I was a match. So we went down the process of the tissue typing and all the testing, and then when Laurie felt very unwell, and the nephrologist said it was time, we made the date, and then the transplant occurred. I think we're very lucky that we could plan this. Most people can't plan when their transplant occurs. They're waiting and waiting and waiting for months and years and years. So I do think we were very lucky that we could have some planning.
So you were both at the hospital at the same time?
Yes.
It all had to happen?
Yep, so this all had to happen. So they set a date, and we rocked up at the hospital at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I went to theatre, Laurie went to the ward, and that was history.
Yeah.
So how long have you guys been married for?
Married in 93.
Wow. Yep.
So, 31 years.
A long time,
Yeah. So, and as I say, I mean, I know Shelley, and she's been waiting a long time, right? And you think, I'm lucky. I really am lucky, to be unwell one day and just wake up the next morning and I'm a different person. I am just feeling so much better than I was yesterday, if you know what I mean. The difference is just phenomenal.
So what have you been participating in here at the transplant games?
Yeah, so I had a big day on Tuesday with the athletics, probably overextended myself. So 5K walk, high jump, discus, javelin, shot put.
Wow.
Yeah, so ball throw. So it was a heavy day on Tuesday. Suffered for it on Thursday when I was playing golf. But the thing is,
at least golf's a bit slow.
That's right.
Yeah, and I rode in a trolley because I knew I wasn't going to walk 18 holes after that. But yeah, and as I say, I've scored some medals, and that's a bonus, if you know what I mean. Just being here is fantastic. Yeah.
Now, whereabouts exactly are you from?
We're from Brisbane.
Brisbane in McDowell. Yep.
Awesome. All right. Well, I better let you get back.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do.
Thanks.
Caught you, so,
all right. Thanks so much, Mike.
I really appreciate it.
Hey.
Good on you, Michael. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name's Hannah and I am 32 years old.
And where are you from?
I'm from the Adelaide Hills in South Australia.
And so you've had some transplants?
So I've had 2 heart transplants and a kidney transplant.
And how long ago?
My first heart transplant was in 2008. My second was in 2015, and then my kidney transplant was in November 2021.
So how old were you for the first?
The first one I was diagnosed around 14, but then the transplant came at about 16 years old.
So what happened leading up to that?
So really I just fainted a couple times playing. I played a lot of netball and I just fainted a couple times, so it took a little bit to get diagnosed, but I was diagnosed with restrictive cardiomyopathy, which 1 in a million children are diagnosed with.
And so you had the first heart transplant?
Yeah, so then I had the first one after waiting about 11 months, and then I went back to school and I finished year 11 and 12, and then I went to study at uni and I did a Bachelor of Social Work.
And what happened to have a second heart?
So after that I was working as a social worker, and I was just getting really breathless and I was getting a lot of fluid, build up around my heart, and they would try to drain it, but it got to about like 1 litre, then 2 litres, and it was just getting really hard to breathe. So then we realised it was rejecting. This was about after 8 years, and then I was flown back to Melbourne for another assessment. So then after that I was put on ECMO, which made me, I had to stay in bed for that period of time and in the ICU, and I was given an LVAD left ventricle device, which acts as the left side of your heart, and they hoped that my right side would pick up, but it didn't. So then they added an LVAD on the right side as well, and I was listed shortly after that. The kidney came about, it kind of looked like my kidneys were sort of grumbling away a little bit, and I think it had to do with medication. But I also caught a virus called CMV, and that I was put in a coma for a month. And then I think just the strain of that on my body as well, my kidneys really took a hit then, and then they kind of just started to fail after that.
So were you on dialysis?
I was for about a year, so I tried both hemo and PD, and then I ended up, the home one was pretty awful for me, so I went into the centre and that worked a lot better. So now I'm back to working. I'm at the Transplant Games, I'm back at the gym, I have a beautiful partner that I've been with for about 2 years now. He's also had a heart transplant, and so that's been really great. We kind of have the same, I guess, little goals of staying fit, exploring as much as we can, and just trying to always have fun and stay healthy.
So a heart, that's a fairly serious, like one transplant's pretty serious, and you've had 2.
Yep.
It's just amazing what the medical people can do, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really amazing. And even some of the surgeries or procedures I had to have are different now to what they were then. And my friends that I've made along the way had them years before me, and it was again like harder then, and it's come a long way, definitely.
So what have you participated in at the Transplant Games?
So at the Transplant Games I've done 10-pin bowling, I did the backgammon, I did the rowing, and I've done petanque. Nope, I've done petanque.
Yep. And anything else coming up?
This is the last one, the petanque.
Wow. And how have you gone?
I'm really happy with today. So I've won all 3 games. I don't know where that will place me, but yeah, I'm very happy. I really enjoyed petanque actually.
And is this your first one?
This is my first one.
Wow.
Yeah. And I got 2 silvers in the rowing events, the 500 metre, which was a lot, and then the 1 minute race as well. Yeah.
So if you could give anyone any advice on life, what you've been through, what would you say to everybody?
I think I like to take every opportunity. And I like to be grateful and really appreciate just even the little things. It's so corny. I really like a nice sunset. I like that I get to go to the beach. I like that I get to spend a lot of time with my niece and nephew and family. So I think just being really grateful and taking any opportunity that you get.
And some of that you may not have been able to do before.
Absolutely. Well, I may not have got to even meet my niece and nephew, and they've changed my life. So. Absolutely.
So future, what? Anything on your bucket list that you want to?
I think I'd like to travel more. Again, my family and I are very family orientated, so I'd like to, just see my family grow. I'd like to spend as much time with them as possible. My partner and I are actually going to move in together at the end of this year, so that's a whole new adventure again. I think honestly a lot of mine are just little things, like just keep living and just keep enjoying and having the opportunities to do so. Yeah. Getting up every morning and being happy about it.
No worries. Well, look, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's an awesome story.
Thank you.
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
G'day, I'm Jess. I'm here at the Australian Transplant Games. I received a kidney transplant about 6 years ago, and basically I was 23 years old and I was on this like health kick and I was eating all these random foods, and I broke out in like a body rash, and so went to the GP and thought I had an allergic reaction, had a blood test, and they were like, oh, your kidney function's low. And found out that I had a autoimmune condition. 3 years later, got a transplant, and now here I am, Australian Transplant Games.
Wow. And so what's it like on the other side now that you've done that, on the other side of
Oh, it's fantastic. Like, I just have so much energy. Did a triathlon yesterday, and never thought I could actually do one in my entire life, but here I am doing these things, and it's just incredible.
Yeah, awesome.
So we just did the ball throw, jumping in for the 100 metre, volleyball, swimming, basketball. Just going to put my name up for all of it, give it a go, see how we go. So I was diagnosed with about 20% function, and about 3 years later I was transplanted. I was down to about 10% function at the time, but I was actually one of the fortunate ones because I received a transplant just before I would have had to start going on kidney dialysis, so I consider myself very fortunate for that.
Well, thanks for that.
Sure. So my name is Ben. I'm from Sydney, New South Wales, and I'm here at the Transplant Games in Canberra, having a great time. A bit about my story. So in December of last year, I got diagnosed with end-stage kidney disease, which was a bit of a shock because I just didn't have any idea that that was something that even existed and that I would, have that disease. So that was December last year, and I've been on dialysis since January, so for about 10 months now. Just sort of, I guess, getting used to it all. And it was a great experience to come down here and just watch some people who've been through it already and have gone through the other side of getting a transplant, and getting to watch them compete in the games is pretty inspiring, so hopefully that'll be me one day. At this point I'm just, I'm going through dialysis and just waiting for that magical phone call to happen. So
So you're fairly active, like it took you a bit by surprise?
It did, absolutely. I actually got diagnosed about a month after doing a half marathon. So I always considered myself, fit and active and healthy, and this was the last thing that I guess I expected to happen. Yeah.
Do you want to ask how old you are? Yeah?
27 years old. Yeah.
And I think let's talk about, so you're going to be doing some of the dialysis at home as well. Is that
Yes. So actually on Monday next week I start home hemodialysis, which is it's going to be interesting. See how it goes. Been getting the supplies over the last few weeks, and they installed the machine at my house in one of the spare rooms. So quite a setup, but it'll be cool to, I guess, have a bit more flexibility doing it at home. And just being in, I guess, a bit more control of the setup and the room, and sort of enjoy it a bit more rather than having to go to the clinic every three times a week. So we'll see how it goes.
And are you still working as well?
Yes. I still work. So I work a job that's work from home and in the office. So I'll be able to do a lot more work now that I do it at home, because it's a bit hard to do it while I'm in the clinic. That should be a positive from that.
Awesome. And you're having a look, maybe next year you might be part of these?
Yeah. It's really cool. I mean, it's only sort of the first day that I've seen it. But definitely I'd love to do this one day. As I get fitter and as the transplant happens. It's pretty inspiring just hearing people's stories and seeing people of all sort of ages competing. So I'd love to be part of it one day. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for that.
No worries.
All the best.
Cool.
Hope you get a transplant soon.
Absolutely. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Thank you. What was your name?
Jen.
This is Jen.
This is Jen, and husband Owen. Owen? Yeah. And guys, what's your story?
To me. Yeah.
And so what happened with you? What?
I've got IgA nephropathy, so
That's exactly
so
the
you
same
got,
as
yeah,
me.
you got that one too.
Yeah.
When did you get diagnosed?
Oh, way back in 1992.
Really?
Yeah, when I was in high school.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you've been able to manage all this time, or
Yes, yeah, until about 8 years ago, and then it sort of just got to the we came very quickly to the end.
Yeah. Right, okay.
Yeah.
And when it comes on suddenly.
Yeah, absolutely. So then, and I've been on dialysis since then, March 2017. So just waiting. Yeah.
Yeah, I was diagnosed in 2020.
Okay.
So not that long ago, but quite aggressive. Yeah. So lost function within about a year after having my daughter.
Okay.
So from about 50% to 2% in 12 months.
Sounds familiar, hey?
Yeah.
Was that similar to you?
Oh, I'm not sure about the percent, but down to not much.
Yeah. I was lucky to avoid dialysis just like in time. They were able to work him up and then within 8 months, and then it was able to get the transplant. It's all going well.
Oh, that's great. And all going well now.
We went in a chain of 8 people all up.
Oh, so you're in the pairs chain.
Yeah, it was good, but it all worked out really quickly. Actually, like from when we got on the list to actually finding a suitable group of 8 people, it was all pretty quick. So
did yours go to you, or did yours just went in the group?
Mine went up to Sydney, I think.
Oh wow!
Yours came from Perth.
Fantastic! I love it. Yeah, it came on a Qantas flight.
Oh, that's so amazing, isn't it? It's great. How it just happens around Australia. Yeah, you just find the match in the right state. Yeah, that's cool.
And how's it been going since?
Oh, it's been going great. Like I was out of hospital within 7 days, and then back to normal life. And we had a 1-year-old at the time, so it was busy for us. But we've so.
Oh, that's great.
It's been going well.
Yeah, and here you are, 1 gold at the 5K.
And so you're in Queensland?
Yes.
Yeah, in Queensland.
Yeah.
Cool. That's amazing.
Good
job.
You too. That's good. Is this your first game?
Yeah. How about you?
Me too.
Yeah. Okay. And have you competed in anything else?
Yeah, I've had a very busy week actually.
Yeah.
I'm ready to have a massage.
Get into it more, I think, understanding what it is. We just didn't quite know what we were signing up for.
That's why I said to Michael, I said, we've got to join in too next time.
Yeah, I just didn't know much about it. I was doing a bit of running, so I thought I'd do the run.
Yeah.
But,
that's great.
Next time I'd love to do more and even get the kids involved. So
yeah, absolutely. It's a good environment.
Another question, sorry. Are you on lots of medication as well? How's that
the
going?
immune suppressants, so twice a day. Yeah, no dramas for me at the moment. Yeah, they've all been going well.
Yeah,
I really can't complain. It's been a really good recovery and
fantastic
transition.
So good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, traveling and being able to do a lot.
That's cool. And how did you go recovery-wise? Is that all good for you?
The first couple of days were a bit rough.
Yeah.
But then beyond that, like a week back, home doing all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And then 4 weeks of recovery. My employer was really good, so I had a good 4 weeks off. Didn't really need them all, to be honest, but it was good to have the time anyway. And then it's just been life as usual ever since. There's been no complications. You get a checkup each year at the St. Vincent's where we got it done. But overall, it doesn't make a difference. Just a couple of keyhole cuts, scars down there, and apart from that, it's all good.
Fantastic.
No, that's awesome.
That's great.
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you too. I've been seeing you in 2 years.
Yeah.
I might change.
Hopefully,
you'll be far. What?